All right, Gator fans, excited to talk to you right now about an interesting development in the transfer portal. This video is brought to you by Meldon Law. We appreciate all of their support of Gator Athletics and of our channel. But it was announced this week that Jack Pyburn is committing to LSU. This is kind of an interesting development. We heard last week that he was entering the transfer portal. There's been a lot of kind of rumor and innuendo about why he jumped into the transfer portal, what his specific demands were. It was reported, that he was asking for $45,000 a month, which would be obviously close to $600,000 for the year. It was reported that he was asking to be in on every third down, that he was looking for guaranteed starting spots, guaranteed number of plays. We don't know if any of that information is accurate or true because he hasn't really said anything about it. We do know that in Coach Napier's press conference last week, he made it a point to answer questions about Pyburn. He talked about him feeling like a son to him. He talked about the good that he had done for the program, his reliability, his effort, the fact that he bleeds orange and blue, and all of those things were so positive. And it kind of made me wonder if Napier was attempting to leave the door open for him to return. It was then later reported after that Florida wasn't off the table and maybe they were still in the hunt for his services, but he did commit to LSU. And it's just wild to me how a kid can grow up and say they bleed orange and blue and they're Gators for life and end up at a rival. And this obviously isn't the first time that Florida has seen this in recent years. We lost ETN to Georgia last year, and then Richie Leonard went to Florida State. So we have seen kids jump in the transfer portal and go to a team considered a rival, but it's just kind of hard to wrap your head around. And in the Jack Pyburn situation, this is a guy who told us he grew up a Gator fan. He's from Jacksonville. I don't know that ETN and Leonard necessarily bled orange and blue from birth, which is what we always heard about Pyburn. So, it's so interesting to me, but I think that's just kind of college football today, right? That's just where we are as a sport. Money talks, opportunities and guarantees talk. We haven't heard yet what LSU has promised Pyburn. Did they meet his demands? Were they the highest bidder? We don't know, but it seems like they are doing incredibly well in the transfer portal, picking up basically whoever they want at this point. And Florida, I think, is moving a little bit more slowly than fans would maybe like. And I think we could probably pull videos from the past 2 seasons of me saying essentially the same thing, that we wish they would move a little bit quicker. That's not really the Billy Napier way. He is kind of a measure twice, cut once kind of guy, slow and measured, taking time to do his due diligence. And before we go on, I do want to give some love to Meldon Law. We appreciate Meldon Law for all they do to support UF athletics and our channel. As the official injury firm of the Florida Gators, they provide assistance to those that are hurt or injured in car accidents, slip and fall accidents, workplace accidents, and more. If you're in Gainesville or Ocala, Lake City, or Fort Lauderdale, you need a free consultation, guys, reach out to them. Meldon Law is going to take care of you. I will say that has paid off the last 2 years in the transfer portal. Florida has had some really good pickups. I don't know that they've had enough good pickups though, to kind of get them over the hump. And it feels very much like this core base of this Gator team is ready and capable to kind of make that next step. They just need a couple key pieces. And it does feel like the Gators are moving a little bit slowly there. And, maybe that patience is going to pay off. And I certainly am going to have, no judgment on a couple different positions, one of them being wide receiver. I think Florida has hit it out of the park 2 years in a row at the wide receiver position with guys that, maybe nobody knew a whole lot about when the portal opened, right? And there were some big names the last couple of years that Florida didn't sign that left fans shaking their heads. But, we got Ricky Pearsall. We got Badger, we got DK, really guys that were just pivotal the last 2 seasons. So I think that with their wide receiver evals, at the very least, they're just kind of on the money. But there are a couple positions that Florida would like to make some pickups on. And I do kind of wonder why the urgency isn't there, or if the urgency is there. The transfer portal, you have to move quickly to be successful. I think high school recruiting, slow and steady wins the race, building those real relationships. That's not exactly how the portal works. You want to be the first visit and you want to pay the most money. So I don't know, are we doing that behind closed doors and we're just not hearing enough about it? Maybe. We're going to see, but I'm interested to see who the Gators pick up in the next couple of weeks. The close that Florida made on that high school recruiting trail, I think maybe also made Gator fans think that Florida was going to jump into the portal with both feet, right? Make some big splashes, sign some huge guys. The frenetic pace that this staff got commitments from guys the last 2 weeks of the season leading up to signing day was just, it was at a clip we had never seen before. And I think we were kind of hoping that would continue. And, maybe I'm going to be back on here in 48 hours and have a completely different viewpoint. We'll see. What do you guys think? Is there anybody out there in the transfer portal that you just think is make or break for the Gators? Is there a position that we just have to sign somebody on right now, or it's a letdown? I want to hear about it. Let me know in the comments right now. As always, thanks for tuning in, and go Gators.